If you ever fish venues where you just cannot get your bank sticks into the ground because it's too firm, you know how frustrating it is, because you end up killing your palm of your hand or having wonky setups or stuff that just doesn't sit in the ground strongly enough. Then maybe you want to stick around and take a look at these, the SS 𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗲 bank sticks from Summit Tackle. Before we jump in, please make sure you subscribe to Carpology TV and also hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. And also follow all the social media platforms coming up at the bottom of your screen now for regular updates. So coming up are 5 key things you need to know about these SS 𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗲 bank sticks from Summit Tackle. And starting off with point number 1, the materials. Now the ones I've got with me today, as I just said, are the SS 𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗲, and the SS stands for stainless steel. There's also SS CB or cobalt, so cobalt black stainless steel, same material, just finished in a nice cobalt black. And there's also 𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗲, so PA version, which is a aluminium, so premier aluminium makeup, and that's finished in a nice black as well, so slightly different material. But the ones I'm focusing on today are the SS stainless steel, and it's 1/2 inch thick stainless steel, so it's got a fair bit of weight to it. It's not overly heavy, but as you can imagine with stainless steel, that is what it is, or it is what it is. That's the weight it's going to be. Obviously this is quite a big bank stick here. If you're going for, say, the 9 inch, you're not exactly going to be breaking your back carrying this stuff around, but you know it's going to last for years and years to come and handle a lot of abuse, which is exactly what these bank sticks are designed for. Tough ground where you're struggling to get your bank sticks in. These are nice and hard, strong, sturdy, so you can put all your weight into behind pushing these into the ground. You're not going to break anything, bend anything. All it's going to do is drive your bank stick further into the ground. So that's point number 1, the materials, built to last. Next up, the actual design. Now, as I said, these do come in 3 different finishes, whether it's the stainless steel, cobalt black stainless steel, or the anodized aluminium. But the actual way that they all look is pretty much identical. So at the very top end, the business end, which is the whole point of these bank sticks, is something sturdy that's built to drive into really rocky grounds and tough grounds. Now where I am today, it's actually fairly dry mud, but there's a few roots in there, some stones and things, so I've been able to test it with that as well. But it's nice and solid, so the fact that it's stainless steel, this isn't going to break down over time. You get some bank sticks which, yes, may feel really nice and sharp when you first get them, but as soon as you hit a rock when you're trying to drive it in, it either breaks the end or it just dulls it down. So it's not exactly sharp, it's not blunt either. But 𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗲, I'm guessing stands for drill bit, because that's pretty much what it looks like, a bit of a tapered drill bit. So it starts off fairly thin and slowly builds its way up, a lovely nice taper up until the actual main shaft of the bank stick. So the drill bit, that is obviously the main point, which I'll get onto in a second in conjunction of another little accessory you can get. When you drive that into the ground, it bites into the ground, the really rough ground, and pulls itself down and makes it nice and steady and stable. If we move down a bit further on, we've got a thumb screw here, which I'll loosen that off, and you can pull out the bank stick, so adjustable, and it actually hits a point where you can't go any further. So it's not the worst. I'll get onto in a second. One of the features of this has got a flat edge. It's not flat all the way down that your bank stick falls out. Once you reach the top of where this bank stick can extend to, you lock it down and you know that's where it's going to be. So there's no risk of losing that bank stick unless you really undo it and then you can pull it out. So you've got like a little notch just there to stop you from losing that bank stick. And this shows how tight the tolerances are on when these are built, because I've only just pulled that out and it takes a little bit of wiggling, he says, to get it back in. And that's how smooth it is. So once it's in, it's fine. You're not often going to be taking the bank stick out as often as that, and actually it's gone in much easier this time. So once you're used to it, you should be fine. But that just shows how fine the tolerances are. The build quality of this, it's nice and snug. Even without doing up the thumb screw, you've got very little, if any, wobble in there. So once the thumb screw's on, nice and secure. So that's one of the style designs there. And then you've got your typical screw thread at the top. Quite simplistic designs, no logo shouting at you everywhere. Nice and simple stainless steel. So that is the design of these bank sticks. Point number 3, the stability. So it's all well and good getting the bank stick into the ground, but how stable are they on the whole? And I kind of touched upon this with the whole design on how the tolerances are very tight and everything's nice and stable. But if you imagine that's 1/2 inch thick stainless steel, once you've pushed that into the bank with the drill bit and sort of push it in a bit further, you can make that snug as you like into the ground. You can keep pushing until that's really gone in. The bank stick is nice and stable, but it's all well and good having that bit stable, but if the top bit's wobbly or flimsy, you're still going to get some movement, and that's what I just touched upon. There is, and so with a thumb screw solid, it's not moving around at all. Thumb screw's easy to use, nice and ergonomic, sort of star pattern there, but rounded star patterns, easy to loosen and tighten back up. And once that's tight, not going anywhere. I also touched upon the fact that the inside of the bank stick has a machined down, I think it's 200mm section of just like a flat edge on the stainless steel on the inside, and that is for anti-twist properties. So once that thumb screw is tightened down like so, I now cannot twist that at all. So instead of having some Banksticks where it's just the inner part of it is completely circular as well, there's nothing for this thumb screw to bite onto or to stop anything from pivoting and twisting. So because it's got that flat edge, once you tighten that down, you can't spin it whatsoever. So once you've got your crossbars on the top, there's no risk of anything moving around and being all wobbly, nice and tight. And I also mentioned that you can't pull the bank stick out once you've got the thumb screw in that position, but if you loosen it right off, it will come completely out. So there are your two components, and it'll be the same if we move up to a slightly larger bank stick. You can extend it by that much, loosen off a bit more, and there we are, we take it out. And even a longer section here of circular, so I guess you could extend it ever so slightly more if you really needed to get it, but this is what I mean. If I tighten that up, and that's just on a circular part of the bank stick on the inside, it spins. Go down a little bit more so it bites onto the flat edge, and I now cannot spin it at all. So it's a nice little touch, and it just means that the bank stick is much more stable. Point number 4 is this little guy, the 𝗿𝗶𝗸𝗲 or Spirit T-bar. Basically helps you get these bank sticks in on really tough ground. So I'll just show you how it works. Well, to start with, stainless steel again, so nice and solid construction, and built into the very top of it is a little spirit bubble. So that helps you get your bank sticks perfectly level when you're putting them into the ground. So if I just take one of the bank sticks, as I said, you can't pull them all the way out if you haven't pulled the thumb screw all the way out. Go a little bit further, I can now pull that out, and you'll see on the inside of these bank sticks there's a little recess for this little guy. So I put this inside the bank stick like so, and it slots in perfect. Do it with the thumb screw, and then you have this little guy attached to it. So you put the bank stick wherever you want it to be, make a start pushing it in, and all the while looking at that spirit level at the very top, and play a little game trying to keep the bubble right in the center the whole time. But it just means that you're not going to be screwing your bank stick in on a wonk, which you may be doing if you're doing it with your hand or whatever. So you can keep on pushing that down. It helps you get more purchase on the bank stick. You're not hurting your hand, but you're also able to get that bank stick in nice and level. So keep on going as far as you want to go, and I can check that that spirit level bubble is now perfectly in the middle. So undo the thumb screw once again, pop that out, and then I can put the bank stick back in and know full well that when I attach my crossbars, that is on a perfect 90 degrees all the way around, right angles all the way around, so everything is going to be nice and level. It's not going to be on a wonk one way and look fine somewhere else. That is absolutely spot on. And lastly, the availability and prices. Now the SSD bits that I've been showing you today start from £24.50, and that's for the 9-inch bank stick, and they go all the way up to 30-inch bank sticks. Now there's also available in the cobalt black version, which is still stainless steel but finished in a cobalt black, and they start from £29.99 and also range from 9-inch all the way up to 30-inch. And lastly, you've got the Premier aluminium. There's slightly less in the range from that. You've got 9-inch up to 20 inches, and they also come in from £29.99 and go up respectively for the size of the banks that you go for. So there's all the prices, and also the little Spirit T handy tool to help getting the bank sticks into the ground, that comes in at just £14.99. So for more information, please do head over to the Summit Tackle website. Cheers for watching, and remember to subscribe to us and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and also follow us on all the social media platforms coming up at the bottom of your screen now. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you again soon.